Right,
Okay,
right.
we live.
Hey, yes, we
All
are.
right.
We are live. We
Awesome.
live. How you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. We're getting ready to go live, and we know they're going to be jumping in any minute. But I am super excited, guys, to be here with who? With none other than the lady herself, the woman herself. She is a community leader. She is a pastor. She's a wife. She is a mother.
Yes.
But she is also, what is special about today, we know that October is one of the things that is recognized for domestic violence, and we want to bring more awareness to it.
Yes.
And today I have with me none other than PastorTiffany Anisette Pringle, okay? Because she's a woman of many things. She wears dozens of hats, some of which you might even hear and learn about today. Share this right now. I need you guys to share this before we get into just some seriousness of some questions. We want to thank you guys for jumping on. We love the hearts. We love all of what you guys are doing. Show her some love. This is Pastor Tiffany Anisette Pringle. Come a little closer. I feel like I'm yelling.
All right.
Hey,
all right.
everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Can you see? Can y'all see us okay? We need some thumbs up. How we looking? How we looking? I told you I was going live. I was right here with her.
Yes.
We was making sure we didn't have any more hiccups. How y'all doing? Yeah.
All
Pastor
right.
Pringle, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, this is self-care because it is about you. It's about you and so many other people that we try to reach on this platform, on the SelfFirst movement platform. And today we get to be here with you.
Yes.
And I do not take it lightly. You know that I love you. You know I love you.
I do.
Yeah, because right now, what we're about to really do, guys, while you are watching, I'm just simply going to actually have a conversation with you. And they're just going to so happen to be listening in on our conversation.
Okay.
And that's how we're going to approach this today.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
So for those who don't know, I am Shawanna Kennedy, your self-care advocate, because I cheer for you, and you. It is because it is about you.
Yes.
Whatever you're going through, there is a way. There is a way. God has a purpose. He has a plan. If you are here and if you're looking and listening, that means there is something designed especially for you.
Yes.
It has your name on it. It has you. That one, you. It has your name on it. And that means it's time for you to get up, get moving. Yeah. Pastor Pringle.
Yes.
My goodness. When we talk about October and the awareness of and the seriousness, because we know we want to, for the guys that might be jumping on, we know that it definitely happens with men. We do. It does. It happens. Domestic violence happens with men as well as women. But today we are taking it from the focus of the woman.
Yes.
Okay? Because we do and we are aware that there are men that are right now in situations where they are dealing with domestic violence. So we do not take it lightly. This is a very serious matter, and today we're going to have, just for a few minutes, a serious conversation.
Yes.
And I get to be standing in the presence of Pastor Tiffany Anisette Pringle, and I'm excited. Now, when we think about domestic violence, what is the first thing that rings in your mind when somebody now, knowing that you are a thriver, a survivor, when you hear domestic violence, what is the first thing that rings out to you?
So the first thing that rings out to me is that it is still happening. Yes, I was a child that grew up in a domestic violent home. Not only was I in a domestic violent home watching domestic violence be taking place, and my mom being the victim, I also became her victim when she couldn't cope. So we understand that it is it's something that it goes from generation to generation. It happens. People get angry. They get out of control. So we want to know, we want to continue bring the awareness that our anger can spin off in a direction that we don't want to happen, because what happens is it can lead to death. And there were so many close calls and so many times that we as children thought that would be the last time we saw our mother. That's how serious this matter is. And for me to be able to talk about domestic violence now and just create the awareness, because not only is it happening or it has happened in the past, it is still happening right now. And it starts very early. It starts when our young children are in school and they decide, oh, I'm going to be in a relationship, I'm going to have a boyfriend. And then what happens are some of those tendencies of what the male partner sees at home, he begins to repeat those things. And that young lady is not aware that what is happening to her. Oh, where are you? What time are you going to be finished talking to your girlfriend? This, that, and the other. Keeping tabs on her. She thinks it's cute. It's fun. Oh, he really loves me.
Are you guys listening at that? So if it is any parents on here, she's actually giving you things to really kind of pay attention. Check the temperature, if you will, with your children to see if they are acting out of character. If you notice that, whether it's a guy or a girl, if someone is actually keeping too much of a close tab on them and wanting to know their every whereabout. Also, I know sometimes we have to monitor and watch certain marks on the body. Yeah. What about that? Did you ever?
So marks on the body, I mean, my mom's marks were very, very evident. The marks on my body was evident. You know, here I am, this light-skinned child. So you will see signs of abuse, but there are times that you will not see signs of abuse.
And what does that look like?
That looks like that person being in shame, being embarrassed, their head is held down. There's something else going on. Maybe they're not as active as they used to be in the activities that they were once a part of. So now they have been withdrawn from society. They're withdrawn from their family. They don't want to talk about what's going on. So there's something they're hiding. And all it takes for us to do is just ask, how are you doing? To open up that conversation, to get deeper beyond what you see. Because although they may look like they got it together or you don't see anything visible that would be scarring or abusive, they just may be suffering in a domestic violence situation. And I want to just pause for a moment, because last week when we tried to do this, we had so many difficulties and obstacles and challenges that we could not go live. And we did what we could to get the message out. I began to talk on my own without Shawanna being in presence or in our faces on the screen together. But it's so important. And I'm glad that I went forth anyway to talk about it, because the next day, on Monday, I received information on Facebook of a young lady who's much younger than I am. She's about my sister's age, from our hometown, who was found dead, her and her little boy. The next day, a gunshot wound to the body from a boyfriend, someone that she is in close relationship with. And you know what people said? I didn't know that was happening. I would have never imagined.
Right.
We don't imagine, because we've been taught for so long what happens behind closed doors stays behind closed doors.
And today, for those of you who are watching again, please share this again. I am grateful to be in the presence of Pastor Tiffany Anisette Pringle, who is sharing a little bit of her own personal story and how she actually not only survived, but actually is thriving, being a thriving domestic violence, going through that. And as she stated, we did last week. We tried our best, but even with that, though, I did see that it got a lot of attention.
Some people.
We really did reach some people, and that's what it takes. It takes for us to use our voice, the voices that we have been given. We use social media for so many other things. We need to begin to use it to spread awareness about great causes and things to help people, help somebody. That is what self-care and self-first is all about. You know why? Because when we begin to learn how to self-love, self-care for ourselves, then we can be a better service to others. That is what this is all about. It's showing that we know that we are worthy. We know that he died for us. We know that he has a plan for us. So that when we see our sister and our brother, or the kids at church, or the kids at school, if you're a caregiver, start watching and paying attention to different things, because she's giving you really great insight. And again, I thank you for sharing, because what I need to know too, because I know what y'all don't realize is that I'm actually at her church, and we're getting ready not too long from now to go and lift up the name of Jesus. If you do have any questions, please, ma'am, please, sir, drop it in the comments. We're going to make sure that all of the questions are actually addressed, even if not at this very moment. We will make sure that we circle back and follow with any questions that you may put in the box. We're going to make sure that you have the information that you need to get to Pastor Pringle.
And let me say this. When you have had an experience, it is your job. It's your obligation. It is your purpose now to share what happened to you. Share your story, because your story just may save someone else's life. And I am an advocate of sharing your testimony. We didn't go through what we went through for nothing. We didn't experience all of the unkind things for nothing. So now you can see the signs. You know what to look for. You know what should be happening, what shouldn't be happening. It's our job to open our mouths and use our voice to save a life, to save another young girl or another young woman, because you've had the experience. So now what? You have something to give back to society. So that is why I wrote Dare to Be a Diamond. One, because this is my personal story.
But I want them to know, how did it happen? How did it happen for you? Let's was on the other side of her. How did it happen for you? I know you said it was your mom. Now, when it was occurring, how old were you?
So when I started seeing my mom be abused, I was about 6, 7 years old. It started very early in the household. And then, you know, we talk about abuse. It comes in so many different ways. So you have your physical abuse, you have mental abuse, and you have sexual abuse. And from the time I was 5, I was being sexually abused until the time I was 16. And I left home as a young girl. I left home very early, trying to escape something that was in my life. And there are a lot of our young girls that are being abused sexually that we don't talk about. And a lot of it is happening in the church. So I want to talk about that. Because you have physical abuse happening in the church. You have pastors' wives who are afraid to open their mouths because their husband, they're trying to protect them, and their husbands are these powerful men, and they're like, oh, I got to protect my husband, I protect the image, I got to protect the church. You have that going on in the body of Christ.
This is serious.
This does not happen just in poverty-stricken homes or people that are drinking and abusing alcohol and drugs. This goes beyond. This is behaviors that continue from generation to generation, and there is a ego that is attached to this that says, I'm in charge, I'm in control. Domestic violence is about control. Who has the control? So I talk about it can happen to anyone. You could be a first lady. You can be a pastor wife. You know, this is real stories happening every day. And not only that, you can be wealthy. Yes, there are many victims out there on Facebook, people that have not shared their stories. But you can be wealthy. I used to work, I used to own a day spa, and I would take time out once a month to go massage the women at the domestic violence shelter, because I felt like it was my duty to give back in some way. Let them know that they're loved, that I'm here for them in some capacity. Just touching you gently versus how you've been touched can mean a whole world of a difference. And there were women there who were from wealth, major wealth. White women, black women, you know, they come in all races, sizes, colors, and economic statuses. And that's what we need to understand. There is no particular one type of person that has these experiences. But think about that. If you're wealthy, your husband is to do, and your friends, everybody's affluent, what's happening? You're not going to tell your friends what's going on.
You're ashamed.
You're embarrassed. You're ashamed. And I'll share this experience with you. I had a client that I was working with who was dating a lawyer who was a high-powered attorney in the city, and she reached out to me out of the blue because one day I was there doing a service in their home, and while she was on the table receiving my services, he was making all of this ruckus noise on the patio. He was throwing things, And I didn't realize what was going on. She called me afterwards and she said, I'm just so sorry. I'm embarrassed, but he doesn't like me to have attention from anybody. And he talks to me like, you know, I'm dirt and this, that, and the other. And here I am trying to console this woman who was much older than I was. In much affluent area than I had been at that time. But it just goes to show you that anyone can be a victim. Anyone.
Wow. Now with her, the movement. Now let them know about the diamond movement.
So we have Dare to Be a Diamond and the diamond movement, because it's our way to reach out to our young girls early on. We talk about how to love yourself with, you know, just like you have the self-love movement here. When you begin to love yourself first and you start understanding that you have control over your life and that if I love me, I'm not going to let anybody do anything to me because I love me too much. So with the diamond movement, we coach, we mentor, we help young girls see their possibilities, see their opportunities, understand how great they really are. And we drill that with the I am affirmations, with the I am statements, because if you continue saying who you are and you begin to see that in yourself, and others will see it around you. And there's certain people you're not going to let in your environment because of who you are now. You've stepped into your power.
Did you ever let anybody know, or you just waited till you were strong enough to get away? Did anybody ever know during that time?
During that time, my grandparents knew, my siblings knew, but my mom didn't find out till the word was on the street, per se. And that wasn't a pretty picture either, you know, because she's hearing it from the street and I got to deny it or accept it, or, you know, you don't know what the outcome is going to be. But we had a tough time growing up. We really did. We really did. And there's just some things some habits and addictions that people hold on to that it's hard for them to release, and they do things and have behaviors that are not per se the most model behaviors.
Wow, I'm really
someone mentioned that they have to be mindful of what to say and who to say it around. I agree. Some people mistake being withdrawn by being shy. That's true. A lot of little girls in school, they're not just shy. There's something going on. I was the shy girl. I didn't talk much. I wasn't the popular, but there was stuff going on that I had to deal with that I felt nobody around me would even understand. You know? So you have to be mindful. That is one of the signs. Start looking at your young people and seeing, okay, what behaviors are they exhibiting? And let's get them talking. But I do believe that as we have these conversations on domestic violence awareness, that our young boys be present in these conversations. Because if we can get the message to them that these are not the behaviors you should have, this is the correct way to handle your anger. There is another outlet other than lashing out to your partner, etc. Because if this is what you see, usually is what you repeat.
Exactly.
So it's our job to get the young boys at the table to say, would you do this?
Right.
Why would you, or why wouldn't you?
To start doing what? We need to start having more conversation. Talk to your children. Talk to your children. Talk to your nieces and your nephews. Talk to even your cousins. Start the conversation.
And let me say this. If you suspect that there is a young lady being sexually abused by a family member or a church member, it is your duty to speak up on their behalf. They may not like you now, but they will love you later because you will be saving their life.
You know, this is a really tough conversation. It's a tough conversation because whether you've been victim to it and survived through it, everybody, I'm pretty sure, knows somebody, and to just know that has happened, as well as knowing that people have lost their lives behind something such as this. man,
Yeah.
ooh.
And it was really heavy.
I'm grateful for your strength, though. I'm grateful for your strength.
And
that you opened your mouth.
Yes.
And that you opened your mouth.
And let me tell you, the strength came when I wrote the book. Because for so long, I just hid it and forgot it. But when I began to write, that's when the healing took place.
Amen.
That's when I was able to remember, forgive, and move on.
Yeah.
So I employ whomever is listening. It is your obligation to share your story, share your message, and talk about your experience, because you're going to save somebody's life. And it may hurt to share dirty laundry.
Yeah.
It's
better to hurt sharing dirty laundry than later have to go to someone's homegoing service. How about that?
Exactly.
How about that?
Yeah, and parents, if you suspect that your child, whether she's grown or not, if you suspect it, you have to step in.
And we're going to continue this conversation, but as I said, this lady right here, she is very busy. She is very busy. Her little one is actually right here.
Yes, she is.
She's right here down below. I love you, Pastor Pringle. Of course, I have dozens of other questions. And again, please, guys, share this. We're going to make sure that you have her contact information. It has been shared on her page. She is the proud founder of the nonprofit, the Diamond Movement. And she's doing great things here, even in the state of Georgia and beyond. She is recognized and she speaks all over the world. Yeah. You see that? Yeah.
Yes.
I'm excited. We have to use our voice. Use the tools that God has given us. Write the vision, make it plain, let somebody know, begin to journal so that you can use that as a way and as a form of an outlet. It's important because it is about you. It's, whether you're a man, woman, boy, or girl, it is about you. Y'all know what I say. I cheer for you.
Yes.
I do. I cheer for you. I cheer for you, you, and you.
So someone said they're talking about spiritual abuse. Oh, that's a big one.
Oh.
Because so many times we are in these religious institutions that have all these rules and doctrines and lists of things you can't do, and you're literally in bondage.
Yeah.
You can't be who God called you to be in bondage. You got to wake up this mind.
You're right. Let this mind be in you that was also
in Christ Jesus.
In Christ Jesus.
Yes.
Oh my God. What would
topics.
You say? So if you before we wrap this session up, this session up, what would you say to a woman that is, if they're not looking at it, they will be looking at this at some point?
Yes.
What would you say to that woman right now? You're talking to her, even him.
Yes. You only have one life to live in this earth realm, and I want you to live it to your fullest capacity. God has so many things in store for you, so many opportunities, and if you are experiencing abuse of any kind, I want you to find help, seek out resources, to just make a decision. All we have to do is make a decision. If we can make a decision that we are not going to be a part of this anymore, that's when the freedom comes. So I ask you to make a decision today to do what's best for you, what's best for your children, what's best for your life. And I promise you, you will thank yourself, not me, but thank yourself for listening, thanking yourself for making a decision to do something to save your life in so many ways. Not just from the abuse, but saving your life to accept the freedom of, I'm free to live, to be, to move, have my being that God gave me. And the power that is within you is beyond what you've already experienced, because we haven't even tapped in yet.
No, we haven't.
So if you need help in your county, I know here in the state of Georgia, they have resources. Just dial star 211 or 211#. 211 will find resources that you need for domestic violence, for anybody that is experiencing domestic violence, or they'll help you get out of that situation. There's another site called Saving Lives or Live Safe. They help you find resources to get out of a domestic violence home. So they help put you in a home and get you out of that environment.
Make the call. Make the call. Make the call. It is about you. Again, I want to, because of course we can continue this on much longer, but she is a busy lady. She's a busy lady, and I do hear some of her guests actually coming in.
Yes.
Again, Pastor Pringle, without even actually going into the ugly cry, because that's really, really how I feel. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for being strong enough to tell your story that has possibly saved hundreds, if not thousands of lives. Mm-hmm. I appreciate you, because to address this is to address so many other forms of abuse. Mm-hmm. And for you being candid and raw. This little lady right here, she don't play, y'all. She's nothing to play with. Man, I thank you. We could go. So
I know.
Thank you.
I know.
Thank you.
Yes. I am grateful that you allow me to be on your platform to share the message, to create awareness, and talk to the many women out there who need the message. And if you just need to talk to someone, you can reach out to myself. You can reach out to Shawanna, and we can be a listening ear for you. Someone said, so glad I landed in enough time to hear this awesome platform. I work in the sex trafficking. Oh, wow. Yes.
She's actually one of the collaborators on the Heart of a Serpent that I'm.
Wow. I'm working now with a group working to help eradicate sex trafficking and abuse for our girls. So we'd love to connect. Definitely. We'd love to connect. Thank you all so much.
Yeah.
All right. We're getting ready to go
have church. Thank you, guys. We gotta go have church, because that's what you gotta be. What about your father's business, right?
Yes.
Thank you, guys. You see, she was right here. She wanted to get in the camera. You see this lady right here?
Say hi.
Say hello. They watching you. They finna see you. They finna see you.
This is my mini me.
Look, say hey.
Say hi.
Look, now she want to be camera shy.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. I love you. You know that I cheer for you. It is about you. Thank you for joining us on this special Sunday self-care. Yes, this Sunday special self-care again. Thank you, Pastor Tiffany Anisette Pringle.
Yes.
Woo!
All right.